Help us to make great decisions for the people of Corona County. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Small.
Here.
Brady.
Oh, yeah.
Drummond.
Here.
Yax.
Here.
Johnson.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes from August 7th. Support. Who is supported? Any questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Public comment, 3 minutes per person, please identify yourself for your township. No volunteers. Okay, moving on. We'll start presentations. Jennifer, if you would.
Hello. It's that time of year where we're submitting the child care fund budget to DHHS for approval for fiscal year October 94 through September 90 or 25. We've gotten the preliminary approvals back, but in order for us to get this forward, we need to get your signature in order to send the final paperwork. So I'm requesting the board. There's really no changes from last year, other than those that we discussed at the finance meeting, as far as changes anticipated for insurance and those kind of things, as far as the employees go. Otherwise, we're looking at the same. Just a note for your information, child care fund has changed. We've always had a 50-50 split. They've changed it to a 75-25 split, 25 is the county pays. So that's starting in this fiscal year.
So in our favor.
In your
That's
favor.
the way to say that.
That's
So
what
you
I
raise your hands up like this.
It's wonderful.
There you go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
So I'm just asking permission from the board for your signature on this document.
Okay, is that a new business? Yeah or no?
There's no presentation, are you gonna add it to new business?
Yeah, let's put on new business. Any more questions for Jennifer? Besides, next time have way more enthusiasm.
I'm sorry,
David?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, then, thank you very much.
Can I leave this with
Yes,
Stephanie or?
you'll be right here.
Oh, okay.
As soon as they say go, I'll sign it.
Yes, third spot right there.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Next up, Denise Bear.
I don't know what paperwork you got, but I met with the finance committee last month and submitted changes to our budget. Amendments to our budget, and it does look like you have sheriff paperwork, so.
Yep.
And then you told me to go to my board, which I submitted minutes to you, that on the 24th of July, my board said, yeah, we want these changes, so now I'm leaving it up to you to hopefully amend our budget for the rest of this fiscal year.
What's, so we got, just for the public's concern, it looks like you gained some extra income
Correct,
and you're just trying to balance everything out.
correct.
Okay. Actually, 11,881, that's good news for the library too.
Yeah.
You almost forgot. All right, very good. Anything else? Any questions for Denise? Okay, we'll put that on our new business as well. Please, and thank you. So. Okay, Mr. Guthrie, if you would be so kind.
Good afternoon. This is a map that shows what we've done and what we haven't. But the purpose of the rebond program is to preserve the original government corners that were set in the county about 190 years ago. You have about 2,400 in this county. What's really important about this is all parcels of land, pieces of property are described on these corners, so it's very important where they are. What we were able to do in 2016, the state gave us an opportunity to revise the county plan, which we did, was approved by the state and also by you. And when we did that, we eliminated all the corners on public land. There's no good reason to do those. These are the shaded areas. And also flooded areas that occurred after the original government survey, like the Ocona Pond and a few other things. So we took those out of the program. So where we're at right now is we have about 300 corners left to do to get through phase one. Phase one is the remodel phase. After that, you go into what the state calls corner maintenance, and that would mean that you go back and look at the corners you've already done. Some of them are 30 years old because of construction development or whatever. The references of the corner might not be in good shape, so we can get back and take a good look at that.
Mhm.
So that's where we're at. Questions?
How long will 300 more take?
Well, we're doing about 30 a year. If we had $500,000, we could finish it up in 3 years, but we don't. So we're looking at realistically 7 years, maybe 10. The grant amount changes every year. It's based upon time. 10 years old.
There's a way at it,
Yeah. Well, we use what we get.
which is good. The portion that doesn't have anything like the spruce.
Well, yeah, see, this is the area that we really haven't taken on, and the reason for that, and we're gonna get to that soon, is because it's very remote, very hard to get around. You have to coordinate with the property owners, some of them don't even live in the state, so it's a real effort on the part of the contractor. You have two contractors that have been in the program for a long time, they're very familiar with the area. Then we're in a good shape with those guys, we really are. So you're on engineering and surveying out of Alpena. It used to be Wilcox Professional Services. The other one is Lewis and Lewis Professional Surveying. These guys have been licensed for over 20 years and they've got good staff, good equipment.
Okay. This ever become a digital, print at all, or,
We might be able to, this is 30 years old.
yeah,
We might be able to turn it into digital print.
yeah, okay. Just curiosity, not requirement. All right, cool,
All right,
thanks.
thank you.
Well, that's it. Next up, Tony from MERS.
So he was emailing Trina. To present this MERS actuarial, he comes about once a year when this comes out. No show.
Okay.
I'll get a hold of him and see if he wants to go on to the first one in September.
All right. Well, that being said, we're right on into claims.
I would like to make a motion to approve pre-authorized claims and open claims presented payment between August 6th of 24 and August 20th of 24. Check numbers 155-129 to 155-275 and e-checks 2432 to 2440 for a grand total of $510,207.24.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Small.
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Jack.
Yes.
Next item is medical examiner contract recommendation.
Chairman, would like to move to hold a hearing to review the performance of the current medical director, Dr. Bertrand Mahaba, on Wednesday, September 4th at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Meeting Room in the Alcona County Building.
I'll support.
Moved and seconded. Any comments? Okay, then we'll do roll call.
Small.
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Johnston. Yax,
Yes.
Brumman.
Yes.
Next up, Region 3 Strategic Site. I better slow down.
Tony.
Oh, Tony is up there.
Is on Zoom.
Oh, all right. Cool.
Hello, I'm trying to get my camera to work, if you guys can hear me.
Can hear you at least.
Okay.
All right, I'm just, I unfortunately, my camera doesn't want to work. So,
We get it.
well, all right, hello, everyone. It's good to see you through these electronic means. I typically come and see you in person. I've been asked to go over your annual valuation, and I've been told that you have copies of it. So I will call out the page numbers and let you know where I'm at, and I'll review that. But before I get started, again, thank you for allowing me to be with you this afternoon during your meeting. Do you have any questions for me before I go over the annual evaluation and talk to you about your defined benefit plan, and then I'll add in a little bit about your defined contribution at the end.
Anybody have questions? Proceed, sir.
So I'm going to start on page 6. That's the executive summary. And this is important high-level information for any of the board or administration to read. You're at 68% funded as of 12/31/2023. This report was calculated using data through 12/31/2023 and was published here by the end of June. So just about 2 months ago. And you went up 1% funded in your defined benefit plan. Back in 2019, 2020, I'll show you later on that you've made progress over the last 5 years or so. The executive summary really goes in and it talks about required employer contributions. Since most of your divisions are closed, this section here just talks about impacts of economic changes and demographic changes and things that we've done. And we no longer are doing the phase in, no phase in, because we've gone through that. We are now, everyone is back to no phase in. And that's what it says here on page 7. Page 8 goes in and talks about if you want to make additional contributions, gives you an example of what that would be. If you wanted to get to 100% funding in 10 years, as opposed to our 16-year plan, you'd have to pay about $16,000 more per month. We talk about why things change. If changes in benefits, that's one reason. Changes in assumptions, that's another. Experience of the plan. If the plan doesn't meet the experience, the assumptions, like say if we earn less than we expect in any one year, that may cause the values to go downward, or if we outperform, that causes them to go up. And we can see a little bit of where that happened in 2022 versus 2021. Our assumed rate of return, we have got it closer to the I'm going to page 9 now. It's gotten closer to the state standard rate of 6.9. We're at 6.93. And we were able to do this with the policy that we have in place, which is called dedicated gains. We were at 7% last year, and we are at 6.3% in this valuation. It's talking about on page 9, future assumption and method changes. We are going through an experience study now. If the study shows that our assumptions need to be changed because they're not accurately predicting the future on a MERS-wide basis, then that report will then provide recommendations on what assumptions would need to be changed and how that would impact. And we would then provide information to you if and when that happens. For all those groups that were able to get money from the Protecting Michigan grant program, that we talk a little bit about that on page 9. And then we go into going from 9 to 10 about smoothing. And this is what we can show you, that our smooth actuarial rate for 2023 was 5.54, and that's on a 5-year smoothing. The actual market return in 2023 was 10.94%. If we didn't smooth and we just use market rate, the county would be 61% funded instead of 68. And it shows you that your contributions would be about $130,000 more per year. And so we smooth those, we smooth in losses and gains. So I'll talk a little bit more about the losses of 2022 and the gains of 2021 and 2023 when I get to table 7. And then it talks about alternative scenarios. So say if you don't like our assumed rate of return and you wanted to be more conservative, going on to page 11, you could look at if you wanted to assume that our long-term rate of return was 1% lower, you could contribute at a higher rate, or 2% lower, you could contribute at a higher rate as well. And that just shows you how achieving that long-term rate of return impacts contributions. Going down to projection scenarios, which are starting on page 12. This shows you 5-year projections, and the top part of the graph is at the 6.93. You're currently at 68, and you're going to go down to, in next year, we expect you to be at 68% again. Then you go down to 66% with the 2026 valuation, then start going back up. And that's working in those losses of 2022. But we had a nice year in 2023 as well. So there are some gains that will be worked in. And as long as we hit our assumed rate of returns, this is what you'll see. Those projections start to show you what your required contributions will be, what those required contributions will look like. I'm going to the next page, page 13. Here you have two graphs, the solid blue line, or if you have a black and white copy, it's a solid dark line. Shows you that you'll be fully funded going into 2040. It's 16 years from now. And the graph below it shows you that your required contributions will go from about the 850,000 that they are required in your fiscal year 2025, and then they're going to get to about, I don't know, 1.1 million, and then going into 2041 they'll end up dropping off to about 200,000 a year to fund the defined benefit plan. I'll stop there for any questions if you have them. Hearing none, I'll go on to page 13. So page 13 is showing us that you have most of your divisions have been closed to new hires, and you have those new hires going into your defined contribution plan. And you can see here that if you go into it's the fifth column or middle column, it says payment of the unfunded accrued liability. You can see that that's where the majority of your required contributions are. So in the defined benefit plan, even though it's closed, we look at the amount that you have to pay for the year, fiscal year starting January 1 of 2025. It's going to be about $262,260. It's really based on what's reported, but that's what we assume it's going to be. And you're paying about $585,276 in unfunded accrued liability. So you're paying about 30% is the cost of the plan for those that are currently in it and earning the benefit. And then there's 70% of those costs are to fund the unfunded accrued liability. Any questions?
Nope.
Going on here to division or table 2, which is on pages 16 and 17 and 18. They're just telling you the provisions that you have for those employees. But once you get to page 19 and 20, and I'll go to page 20, the key point is to show you that on page 20, at the bottom in bold, it says that you have active employees. There are 36 as of December 31st, 2023 that are still in the closed defined benefit plans and the 2 plans that are open. You have 11 employees that are former employees that are vested, but they're yet not eligible by age to draw the benefit. And then you have retirees and beneficiaries. You have 70 retirees and beneficiaries. We expect that you'll be paying out about almost 1.2 million in benefits from your account to these retirees and beneficiaries. There's 2 former employees that aren't yet vested and aren't eligible to receive the benefit. They are eligible for a refund, or if they are able to get coordinated service credit through MERS or Act 88, they could become eligible for the time that they spent at the county working, but only for the time that they were at the county, which says that there's a total of 119 participants in your plan, even though there's only 36 as of 12/31/2023 that were currently working. Any questions on the membership and the lives that are being promised a benefit through this program? Hearing none, I will just go up to page 22. This is a historical comparative table that's showing what you are required to put in, what you have put in over the years, what your investment income has been on an actuarial basis, what your employees have to put in, the benefit payments that you're paying out. When it says employee contribution refunds, you see in 1 year in 2016, there's a refund there of $737, but that was actually someone putting that money back in. But those that want to get a refund, it would show up here. That shows you your valuation asset balance. So you can see here that over the years, your payout to your retirees have basically doubled over the last 10, 11 years. Went from about 600,000 now to just shy of 1.2 million. And your required contributions to fund that plan have more than doubled from 2013 to 2023, as we are trying to catch up and bring the county to 100% funded. Page 23. This is showing you all of your divisions, and it shows you where the liabilities are, and it breaks it down by active employees, vested former members, retirees and beneficiaries, and then those pending refunds, and then the total liabilities. So you have about a little over 20 million in total liabilities or value of pensions earned. You have 13.6 million in assets, and you're unfunded by about 6.5 million. And those different divisions, and you can read the different divisions to see which ones are funded and which ones are underfunded. Any questions?
No.
Table 20, page 24, table 7. This is a historical report. It's a comparative schedule. And it's showing you the date of the valuation, the liability, the assets, the funded position actuarially, and then if you're over or underfunded. And we show 15 years here. And what I wanted to show you is that in 2018, the county was 67% funded. But we changed assumptions in 2019 and 2020. We extended the life tables and reduced the long-term rate assumption. And that caused you to go from 67% down to 63%. But in 2021, we had a really good year with a return. We had almost a 17% return that year. So you shot up from 63% to 68%. But then in 22, we had a negative year, about 10.16, which was still pretty good. We outperformed our benchmark. The greater markets had the general markets had a greater market correction, and those general markets that we all seem to watch on television actually lost more money. And then we did good again in 2023, where we had that 14.93% return, and that helped bring us back up. And so the rest of this valuation is divisional comparative schedules, and that really gets into some deeper information on the plans and helps you manage on an individual division level. So I will open it up for your questions.
The table shows it by division.
Once we get to page 25, we go to table 8 and 9 and 10. Those tables are divisional tables, and they give specific information by individual divisions, not by the collectively as the county. And every table previous was by the countywide numbers.
I see.
Then towards the end of this, once we get into past table 10, we get to page 42. That's information that you have to give to your auditor for complying with GASB statements. 42 and pages 43. Page 44 starts just benefit provision history, when there were changes to benefit provisions. And then that carries on all the way through until you get to page 49. And these are plan provisions, actual assumption, actual funding methods. These are more technical issues with the actuary. We just have one increase, is that we believe that wages will increase 2% per year. Then on page 50, we talk about risk, and this is going into the weeds a little bit more. And we talk about maturity plan maturity measures on 51. And that's pretty much self-explanatory when you read it. And then the final page is state reporting requirements that help you comply with Public Act 202. And I'm available for your questions.
Okay. We need to make a motion to receive this report. Anyone know? Okay, do we need a motion or anything about this report?
I would, yes,
Motion to use the language.
accept the MERS annual actual variation for 2023 is presented.
I'll make that. Unless there's any more questions. Who is supported by Craig? Roll call again.
Yacht,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brady.
Yes. All right, Tony, we appreciate you chiming in. Sure that if we get any more questions, we can just contact you individually, correct?
Yes, that'll work.
Okay. All right, very good. Thanks for your help once again.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. 3 and 3. Boston. Read the 3 strategic site readiness project. What we need to do is, we're gonna start with motion here. Get ready, Stephanie, it's a little wordy. Awesome down here. Make a motion to have NAMCOG perform the requirement as outlined in the regional plan to collect data for each commercial and industrial site that are available for purchase or lease within the county. That is my motion. Second. Moved and seconded. Well, this is, why don't you give us a little spiel on this here, if you would, Terry?
Basically, it's a grant to perform mapping of our commercial and industrial sites in the county. They're gonna be doing this, NEMCOG is gonna be doing this all through North Michigan. They have purchased a drone to perform this, and also an individual to fly it and do the mapping. Which will be done in, again, every town, county. And, basically they do the work as usual for the grant amount and in terms usual administration fees, they take it out of there. We could have the gentleman come and explain this even more if you want.
It doesn't cost us anything, right? It's out of the grant that they've already gotten,
My understanding is that is correct.
so we're not gonna get invoiced or anything. Okay,
So, but we're wanna look at all commercial and industrial property, not just one for sale. Is that what we want?
This will be all of them now.
I think the map, with all you read was for sale or lease.
well, this is what the requirement is for the regional plan. Industrial sites that are available for purchase or lease within the county. That's exactly what it says.
It's everything.
Yeah, it's everything. It's gonna be everything.
Whether it is for sale or current time, it's available.
Everything's for sale.
Yeah.
It does have them for sale, sign on it.
We had just talked about it, we thought, you know, it was really a good thing to have each commercial and industrial thing. Map, or even see if anybody had a, or not map, but picture of it. I usually would be a sale point.
Any other questions, concerns? Roll call. Oh, please.
You, in the email that was sent out with this. It said if you are opting out of receiving the grant, you needed a reason. And a letter stating to NEMCOG why.
Yeah.
You were opting out of it, is that? Something you're gonna address, or you're just opting to? That was my understanding when I read the email.
I think we're opting to be in the grant.
But not utilize the grant, you're asking NEMCOG to do the work.
Right.
You're not accepting the grant as a sub-recipient.
Yeah.
Oh, if we intended to do it, our contracted elsewise, we give a grant direct to us, right?
Correct.
No, we don't want to do that, so we will have to have a letter expressing.
The reason being. We want them to handle it.
The reason being,
It says if you decide not to pursue the sub grant, I would need something in writing from the county requesting NEMCOG to perform this work for you. That's what we're doing.
yeah, but then we're also going to have to, okay. So the first motion would be to ask NEMCOG to do this. But we'll need to do another motion to opt out of the.
I don't think we need to opt out of it. It says if you decide to have your county do the grant yourself, then let me know and we'll send you the grant agreement. If you decide not to pursue it yourself, then we need something in writing that says you want NEMCOG to do it.
That's the motion that we're passing.
Right.
Okay.
Pretty much the way I would like to believe, talking to the NEMCOG people.
Well, let's get this one on there, and, I mean, we could do, just for the sake of, just to have it in the minutes, acknowledge the fact. And another motion that we're intending to opt out of this opportunity and have NEMCOG funds work on their behalf. Well, we're just trying to say that already. I didn't include opt out in the language. All right, well, let's vote on this first one. Roll call.
Yax,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
Johnston,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Brady.
Yes, now I'm gonna make a motion for the sake of the minutes. That, Acorn County is choosing. Hold on, I'm looking for Ryan Anderson. Acorn County,
Just need to write a letter requesting NEMCOG to do the grant for us. We are not going to do it ourselves.
no, I wanted to say this, so Acorn County will opt out of.
double negative.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. I guess we got it covered. I'll get a hold of them, call and see if they need anything else.
Did you need anything to write a letter to them? You need to notify them in writing. Requesting them to do that.
I think they want something in writing that says we opt out of doing the grant ourselves.
So they say we need something in writing requesting them to perform it.
I'm just telling you what I got
Oh,
out of that meeting that I had with them. Cause they were just asking, they're putting in for the grant, okay? If you wanna do the grant, you're part of the grant, then go ahead. If you want them to do it, they want it in writing that
yes,
you want them to do it.
that's what I'm saying, yeah. So we want to write them a letter that says we request NEMCOG to perform this work. With this grant.
It's just,
So, okay, motion to draft a letter. Requesting NEMCOG perform. What's basically, it's just scratch what it. Anything for a letter,
Execute the grant on our behalf.
yeah, there you go. Motion. To Alcona County, to NEMCOG to execute the, what's the grant called?
it is the Region 3 HNG site readiness project.
On our behalf. Or able to decipher that, Stephanie?
Sure.
All right, great. Oh, and allow the
Chair to sign.
chair to sign. But I got a motion and support. Any more discussion? Okay, roll call one more time.
Drummond,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Brady.
Yes. Now, the next thing is. To approve,
Our report.
trial court,
Don't care, fine.
child care fund.
Karen, we have two motions on here. You only addressed,
It's this one.
it's just the first one. Okay,
When we get to it.
Somebody make that, okay, I'll make a motion to approve the. Trial court child care budget.
Support.
Who supported? Any more conversation?
What is the dollar in there? Thank- I don't have a copy.
I don't know if that means, I just know we're responsible 25% less out of our pocket. I don't know. Jennifer, perhaps you can do it really easy and quick. Any more questions? Roll call?
Small,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Drummond,
Yes.
Brady.
Yes.
Chairman, I would move to make the requested adjustments on Fund 271 and 272, excuse me, 271 and 272 as presented.
I'll support.
Was supported, questions?
Oh.
Library.
Okay, hearing none, we'll do roll call again.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Drummond.
Yes.
Did I miss anything? Don't look like it. Got it covered. Finance report, finance was not met since their last meeting, I'll get to schedule a finance meeting though. For. Hang on, we have a 10 AM on the last, before the next meeting, it's at 10 AM. We're looking at press committee about where, let's do. Let's do after the meeting on this.
We have that other meeting in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
This is, me, Dave, and the other Friday, rather. Okay. Unless you got something, Dave, you got something?
Nope.
September fifth at what time?
Let's say 3:30. Or depending on when the meeting gets over. And okay, personnel.
Right now, we don't have any issues, any of the other than we have been, as you can find in your packet. Teamsters has reached out and wants to begin, negotiations for the new contract. So we'll return that answer to them and set some dates and be ready for that. On equalization, I guess we'll put that in here. Personnel report, not gonna be there. So if anybody doesn't have a chance, we got it rearranged over there, the offices there are, they're at, we're still waiting on the conference table for the public area to come in, and then we'll be pretty much complete, but it looks good, like works well. Lots of room to be in and lots of room for people to be able to be out in that other office. In addition, on the equalization, so we have a proposal. We'd like to address this at the next meeting and give you this now. The numbers would like, I want to refrain from passing them all right now because I don't want them to be necessarily public until the next meeting. So I'll email them all to everybody. So we are looking at some increases to certain services and fees that we do in equalization that will bring us more into line with the surrounding counties. That's really what it is. And I'll make sure everybody gets a copy of it and then we'll look at it for the next meeting and get it approved.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, then we will do the treasurer's report. Oh, my goodness, we'll do it right after the treasurer's report.
Biggest news this month, we had our sale, sold 24 properties, we have 2 claims for excess proceeds. And the sales, all of the properties that we had on the list were sold. There was a few that were quite a bit more than what the tax amount was, and though a few of those had claimed the excess proceeds. So we have, I've not heard, I do have a conference coming up the 25th through the 28th, and I have my deputy and I will be there, and the lawsuit that was in the Supreme Court that was decided upon, the attorneys will be providing, that were involved in that, will be providing information to the county treasurer during that conference, so it was kind of imperative that we got there to get this all straightened out. Talked to Tom a little bit about it in the last week, and so we'll kind of come back together and figure out where we are and what we have and what we need to do moving forward with the decisions that were made. And that's really all I have right now, unless anyone has particular questions for me. I misspoke. I do have one more thing. I wanted to thank, shout out thank you to Jesse Campbell from the Road Commission. Gave me a call the other day and we spoke about, I know, you know, when they Ken came in from our audit that spoke about the Cedars program and different things for investments. And so thanks to him too as well. We have that set up with M-Bank up in Alpena. We have the opportunity to do it, and generally we're now working together with the Road Commission to increase the investments. They'll be investing $1 million into that program, which I can give you further details, and I'll be utilizing that for some of the county funds as well. So I'll be giving you updates on that as we get that underway.
Very good.
And back to that, if anybody has any questions.
Okay. Good to hear. Sorry, real quick, we're gonna slide in here. We have in your packets the Constitution Week request. Carolyn, would you like to speak about this?
Mr. Chairman, I would, request passage of the following proclamation. Whereas it is a privilege and duty of the American people to commemorate the 236th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America with appropriate ceremonies and activities. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuance of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States, designating September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week. Now therefore, we at the Alcona County, by virtue of the authority invested in Commissioner Brady as chairman in Alcona County, Michigan, the week of September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week. And witness thereof, set my hand and cause this proclamation to be displayed in the public place.
Second.
Who's seconded? Any discussion?
This is brought forward every month or every year, by the Daughters of the American Revolution in support developing, continued development of awareness for Constitution.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Oh,
What do you say?
Terry.
Thank you, Tony. Tony Long.
That would be the first time somebody called me out, no. Usually it's a lot worse, so.
Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Proclamation.
Oh, well, then let's do a roll call.
Brady,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brumman.
Yes. Thank you all.
Officially proclaimed. The clerk's report, please.
After you guys met at your last meeting, the Board of Canvassers came in the next day to canvass the August primary. And due to the 9 days of early voting and the amount that was on the ballot, it slowed down the process. Usually the canvassers, and being that we're a small county, they can usually canvass and be done in about a half of the day, but I think we got done about 3:30 in the afternoon. There were a couple of hiccups for sure, just odd circumstances that arose. They finally did complete the canvas though, so that's done. As soon as I went upstairs in the afternoon before we'd even finished canvassing the election, I had a request for a recount. So the county will be performing another recount. They can't complete the recount until after the State Board of Canvassers canvass, unless because there could be a state legislature or whichever, somebody that's within our district, and we can't recount our people till the state level recount happens. And that very next day, we received a call at the state level for the representative and a possible recount at the state level as well. So I don't know how that plays out. I've not been part of that. Usually they take 3 or 4 counties and group them somewhere else. And it's a whole facility and it's a large hand count, but I don't know for sure if that's gonna happen. They were just looking into it and questioning. The workers' comp audit that happens every 3 years, Tina's on the last leg of that for completion, so we'll submit that. And I am in receipt of a couple of bills that I need help with. The first one is the multi-county materials management planning. We already have our first bill for that.
We got the money, yeah.
Line item, I have no idea how to pay this. Yeah,
You've not budgeted for it.
don't know where it's coming from.
Anything else afterwards?
$8,000.
Yeah.
Okay. After the meeting here, we'll talk about it.
Okay, I also probably need to get a hold of Doug Cheek on this Connected Nation. There was another bill that was received, but this is in addition to the installments for the.
It has nothing to do with that. And it
Broadband.
usually comes to me and I usually pay it because it comes out of the ARPA fund.
Oh, it just appeared on my desk one day. Cool, okay, never mind, that one's taken care of. And that's all I have.
What is the first one with the, you don't know where to pay out of, what is it again?
the waste management plan.
Oh, we need to create line items for that.
We need to create a budget for that.
Oh, we're gonna pencil doing that, all right. Well, being doing that, when's that,
It says due date, 45 days, so not until October 1st, so I can
Okay.
bring it to that finance meeting on the 5th.
all right, let's do that.
Okay,
Makes it awesome.
Yeah, see,
That thing was like.
that just came, I wasn't expecting that fast.
Yeah, oh, it is.
Wasn't either.
Yeah.
Okay. Communications in your packet. Ready report, start Craig.
Veterans continue to do their thing, Dave and John were over there helping put some wires in the. Needed to be put in the building for communications. They did get their vehicle. I see it was sitting in front of the office, looks pretty nice, it's all wrapped and got veterans on it and stars and. Nice looking vehicle, so that's good. Road Commission, DPW, they brought to my attention. I don't think we need to do anything here, but Jesse's doing some work at the landfill and needed some stuff, some pipes and other things. He was not on our charge at Open Supply. I let Dave Hanson know. He put Jesse on that and they said he did it.
That's why we need a motion, because you can't just assign somebody an account like that.
But if we need one, fine.
Board has approved it.
Dave said it's all done up there.
I understand it's all done out there, but we're gonna have to, when you're done with your, with your thing, we'll have to approve him being on that account. I wonder if you could just ask Dave to. All right, there, carry on. I just gotta think about this for a minute.
What's the tricky part? So I know for next time.
Well, because, it's, for auditing purpose, I would say that you can't just throw somebody's name on an account without some kind of approval. It's like visas or anything else.
So, cause I did tell him anything that goes through. It has to be DPW'd on the bill, so it can be tracked that way.
But I understand, I'm just saying from an auditing standpoint of who is allowed to make charges, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because if,
but that's fine, if we need to make a motion.
yeah, I think
all that.
that's a safe way to do it.
I'll make a motion that we put Jesse Campbell on Oconee County's Alpena Supply. And I think he was on Northeastern too, so that got done also, so. Alpena Supply and Northeastern window and door.
For DPW
DPW purchases.
purchases.
Second.
Who just seconded, not sure that's the way we do it, but we'll cover our bases right now, and then we'll look at it, finance and see if there's gonna be changes around. Any more conversation?
Who was the second?
Terry, Tony, I almost said Tony. He got me poisoned. Roll call.
Brumman,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes,
Carry on, Greg. Tony.
that's it.
I think. Thinking a little bit about where the money. That we get for the. Call it but it's not waste management.
Close enough.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Alright. That, maybe that should go under DPW.
Take a look at it.
Well, the first year is gonna be going towards putting it all together,
Right, we'll have a receipt in the.
and it's gonna be all towards recycling.
But it's still waste though. That's a good question. I don't know. That may be,
Maybe that's a place to put it.
yeah, maybe. Maybe you
Yeah,
can,
then there might have guidance.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, is you can reach out and see how the
Well,
neighbors are doing it.
you've got to look over there. It says you're thinking too. Where would you put it, Cheryl?
I would wait for guidance from the state of Michigan on what the suggested charter accounts is.
That's true, but they do drive that bus. Yep, good idea. Dave, what you got?
The Northern Michigan Counties Association meeting, this week, our liaison for Lansing was there and gave an update. I think they have, the legislature has like 2 days they're meeting between now and the end of October. So there's nothing that's gonna get done at the state until after November 7th. They expect to have multiple things rammed in during lame duck session. Depending on how the election goes in the state of Michigan. Right now, the Democrats control all 3 branches. And they're thinking that the House they might lose, and if that happens, there's gonna be a lot of things, septic tank legislation included in that. Talked about a little bit about opioid and the settlements and stuff, and they talked about we can, 15% of the money that we get is unrestricted, or we can use that for administration and just some different stuff like that. That's it.
We hear a lot of squawk about solar, the neighboring counties are having a lot of debate and discussion. I would like to reiterate that you have every right to come in to your local municipality and complain about, that you don't want solar to be allowed here, but the fact of the matter is that if you're gonna do that, you might as well go straight to the state of Michigan, because even if your local municipality turns down the project, the state of Michigan will approve it, and you will, and that municipality will still be responsible to track all the information and do all the paperwork. So that being said, once again, and I mentioned this several other times, there's grants available to townships where you can get so much per kilowatt that's gonna be generated by the solar and grants that you could pump back into your community. Since you're being forced to do this anyway, you might as well get a benefit from it. I'm reviewing a project right now, it's going with Dustin, which includes 40 acres right in my backyard. So it's what it is, that's how it's going down. I don't have any other information. So Terry.
Attended DEMCOG and also CMH meetings, township meetings. Nothing, we've already discussed quite a bit, reference to DEMCOG meeting. All like that.
Carolyn.
I had 2-on-1 full board meeting yesterday in Midland. We're seeing a little bit of a reduction in payments from local United Ways, but we'll see how that plays out. Do I recall correctly that you all said you would like a copy of the field audit?
I don't recall that, though.
Would you like one? I'd love to give you one.
I'd love to have one, thank you.
If you want to do so,
Sure.
all right. 6 it will be. It is all done. We are,
Thank you. I thought I gave you one, but I-
waiting for word from Sherry Vaughn on whether or not we can send it down. The president, the chairman, and the treasurer have both reviewed and approved it. We're waiting for word from him whether or not we need to have to have a special meeting or if it can go down to the state with only the concurrence of those 2 parties. And then we have such a hard time getting our quorum that we're hoping that it will say, sure, just send it out. Also attending the ALCLA meeting, Alcona, IOSCO, Cedar Lake Association meeting. They lost some of their key board members by resignation. But the remaining ones have got things up and going and actually back on a better track. They have been used as their regularly scheduled 3 general membership meetings a year. One the Saturday of Memorial Weekend, one the Saturday 4th of July weekend, and one the Saturday of Labor Day weekend. And they now have the location for that. The remaining board has the location for that and has it up and ready to go. attended both the Greenbush and Decatur Township Board meetings. As you know, the Forgot Eagles came by the day after our last meeting. And I've been working on this and stuff, so, other than that, nothing.
Well said. How about the ACCOH? How's that going? Plugging line?
Yes, yes, it's plenty more. We're beginning to work on opening ribbon cutting ceremonies, such as you had. There's a lot that's been done, but there's a lot still to do. Like anything, if you've ever built a house, it's like, oh, wow, it's up the frame, it's wonderful. But wait a minute, you got to put all these screws and nuts and bolts and washers and water lines and electric lines and all that, and that's the process now, and it seems like it takes a longer time to get the frame up, but it's come along well.
Do they have an approximate date? For when it we finish?
As soon as it's ready.
That's not the answer.
Yes, it is.
Give me one,
Um,
come on, give me a guesstimate, please.
November, December, January.
2040 or? Getting a little bit.
Oh, that's it.
You got my name right at least, thank you.
Well, the pessimist I got right too. No, absolutely not. We are only a few months away.
Human, really? Oh, heavens.
Because I don't want to have to be funny.
Okay, thank you.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay, let's do the last section of public comment. Everybody chooses. Oh, hey.
Sorry, third Wednesdays are tough for me. I have a couple other meetings
Oh,
I have
good.
at the same time, but, I don't have anything prepared, but I wanted to present something to you. I have an offer. Yeah, I have an offer from a tech school down in Kent County. They want to buy one of our patrol cars. I'm looking at your policy. It's pretty tough for me to sell it to them directly, so, we can give away things, it looks like, to townships or schools if it's worthless. The car is worthless to me. It has value. We typically auction them off. And I don't think we've been getting maybe $3,500 or $4,000 for these vehicles
You
used.
said this is the school?
Yeah, this is a tech school and they're offering to buy it from us for $7,000.
Is it a for profit?
I don't know that.
Probably not.
I don't know that. for
You know, I
sure.
think it falls under our guidelines.
Is it stripped down or fully equipped?
No, we take all the lights, and everything off of it. We reuse those on the next incoming.
Can we just put it out to bid and
No,
then they,
why can't we? I just saw those rates. Why did?
So we handed out a copy.
yeah,
of
you
the-
got a copy right there.
Okay, no, I didn't.
And that's really all I'm looking for is clarification. We gotta put it out for bids. I'll put it out for bids and tell them to bid on it.
Yeah.
That's easy enough. If you guys thought it fell under the worthless category, I would sell it to them for that. To the county, it's worthless. It's no longer useful to us as a patrol car that could go out on the road, so it has no value to us. As a patrol car, it has value to us through selling it to somebody, so. A little guidance on that, that's all I'm looking for, and I don't necessarily need it today.
Oh, we don't need it today.
No, whatever, it's,
The only concern I would have is some people who are wanting to challenge it because it's simply the sake of challenging.
yeah,
Put it out for bid and this is what you want to pay more, you can get it.
yeah, I can't find anywhere that's in statute anywhere that we have to auction it, but this is the county policy, so.
Beauty of current policy is to support it as one of the banks got a policy, so.
Yeah. Yeah,
We could certainly make it another line in there that says we can sell it outright or.
Put it out.
If or and or, whichever we choose.
This is a for-profit school. Then my feelings are much different than it is.
yeah, I agree, that's a great point.
I mean, it could be connected to a small college down there or something.
Yeah, it very obvious tech center, I'd have to do some research to see if it's a for-profit.
Many times they are.
Well, chances of that the bid is gonna be higher than whatever somebody else can offer. I mean, you might as well just put up. That way we don't even have to have any controversy or anything. It's just put it up for bids.
I agree.
Be done with it.
Sounds good to me. Other than that, it's been a busy summer, one more big holiday weekend coming out.
And we've been busy, we were busy with the fair, made a pretty good show out there with people there, we got the child ID kids and ID'd 140 kids at the school. One of the churches had a children's day, they got moved from the church to the high school last weekend because of the rain and weather. And we did another 40 child ID kits there, so that seems to be going off real well. We're doing that through our victim services unit, and I'm taking our corrections officer to do fingerprints, so we're getting quality fingerprints on that rather than just smudges and useless fingerprints and ID kits. We bought the donations to the county and I don't know, they're $3 or $4 each, but it does fingerprints, DNA with a mouth swab that we do there on site. And they can put fingernail clippings or hair clippings if they want with it, but it's also got scars, marks, tattoos. Prior broken bones and a spot for a photograph, and that's for if your children's ever lost or deceased, and we need to make identification, unfortunately. But it's a good kit, it was nothing that we keep, we hand it right back to the parents when we're done and they get to keep it at home. When I was younger and my kids were younger, the Masons were doing a real good job of doing that. I understand locally, they found out that I was doing this and they're trying to get back in the business of doing it, which no problem, that's great that they're doing it. They had a pretty good program they had set up a few years ago. Okay, those are a few things we got going on. If there's no questions for me, I'm gonna head back because we have a camp command staff meeting going on right now.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. Now we'll do public comment, please, anybody? Looks like nobody, okay. Then commissioners, additional comments? We will adjourn the meeting to September 4th, at 10 a.m. Take the regular meeting. And then recess, and we're gonna visit them in the morning, we recess. Or just whack it off.
10 a.m. is.
No, it's a hearing
Thanks for hearing.
for the ME.